Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, Megan and I are going to be doing another Am I the A-Hole Reddit review. You guys love these episodes. Megan and I love these episodes. And so we're just always going to keep doing them. If you are new here and you haven't listened to these episodes, I feel like they are actually pretty popular.
We're certainly not the only ones that does them.
There's
Hot Takes is really popular, like way more popular than we are. And they frequently look at this Reddit.
So we just go through the subreddit. People will post a scenario that they have been involved in. I feel like oftentimes looking for validation. So that's why I feel like the vast majority of these are like, you're not the a-hole. Like, you know, you're justified in what you're doing. Every once in a while though, you get an interesting take or can maybe see something from a different perspective and like justify maybe why they were in the wrong. So they're always just fun to go through with you guys and provide our opinions, talk through like the nuance of some of the stuff, and just start a discussion.
Before we do that, of course, we are going to run through our weekly spotlights, our reading updates, just
Life
catch
updates,
you guys up with
whatever.
us and what's been going on. Wanted to give a quick shout out to our virtual book club since our August pick has finally been decided on. We are reading, I know it's by Holly Jackson. It's
Not
her new
quite
release.
dead yet?
I think you're right.
I don't even know
Not
what the plot
quite
is.
dead yet. I have no idea what it's about, but I know that it's our next book club pick. So if you have read the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, it's the same author, and I love that series, so I'm excited to see what this book is about. I have no idea if it's the first in a series, if it's a standalone. I have no clue, but we will figure it out together.
I also have totally meant to have read her other release, the reappearance of
I didn't know
someone.
she had another book.
Oh, really?
I don't think
Like
so.
the reappearance one?
Actually, no. I did know about that.
Okay. I haven't read that one. I totally thought I would have read it by now, but you know, it's just been pushed further and further down on my TBR, so I would definitely read this one before I get to that one. So definitely, if you guys want to check out our Patreon or become a premium subscriber on Spotify, those are the two options or ways that you can join the virtual book club. It's $2.99 a month. Don't join both, just join one. And then you get access to our Fable link and the podcast episode regarding the book.
Okay, weekly spotlights. What is on your docket?
My weekly spotlight, I think, is going to be, I'm like trying to make sure. Yeah. My therapy gym at my work is done. So it's been under construction / like being renovated since March of this year. We've been tucked away in an area that's really not very conducive to therapy, but we've made it work since March, and they just finished construction last week. Last Friday was our first official day in, and then today's Monday. We got to be, you know, fully in the gym today, and I just feel like so free in like everything that I get to do and want to do with my patients. Like I just feel like I can do anything I want, and so I'm really trying to take care of the space. I'm also excited because I think we're getting some new equipment in the area. I don't know when it's arriving, but that will just be like the cherry on top. And you guys should check out my TikTok. I just posted a PT day in the life that highlights the new gym if you want to see what it looks like. It's just, I love all the windows. I love all the space. I'm just loving it. So that was my weekly spotlight.
My weekly spotlight is I've been doing a little bit of shopping. Not a lot, but just a little bit. I've been trying
Just
to be
a
more
little.
mindful with my money and spending. But I really liked some of the pieces I got recently. I've made a couple activewear related purchases just because I've been kind of on the hunt for additional clothes that I want to wear to the gym. So I got a set from Ciera's Yoga that I really like. I've posted all of this workout stuff on my TikTok if any of you guys are interested. And I'm actually wearing a white, this is not white, this is yellow.
Better yellow.
A yellow tank top that I got from TikTok shop. And then I got a normal cute top from Abercrombie that I really like, that I'm not sure what occasion I will be wearing that to, but I was like, I really like it.
It's a little too risque to wear to Grandma's birthday dinner.
I don't know. I think it could
Maybe
be
try it
fine.
on with some jeans, dress it down a little bit.
But yeah, I don't know the name of the top, but it's really, really cute. And yeah, so I've been pleased with just my
I actually also bought a
purchases.
workout set from TikTok shop. There's a brand called Gold Hinge. I've been on the hunt for, I've been loving like the layered styling of workout sets where it looks like you're wearing like a white thing underneath the sports bra or pants or whatever you're wearing. And the one I got is from Gold Hinge. I really like it. Like I'm wearing it. I wore it on my hot girl walk that I did today. Hot girl walk / run. I walked a mile and then I ran a mile and then I walked another mile. So super cute.
What's been your workout split recently?
Really? I don't know what my workout
I've been
split
confused
is.
by your workout split. Not that it's any of my business.
Like definitely like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then I don't know, whenever. If I work out again, I will. If I don't, then I don't. That's been my split.
Okay.
Like today, this is where it's like I don't need to like identify like what's a workout, what's not. Like today I'm like, that's not really a workout, but like it is, but I'm like, does it count? I don't know. But I'm just trying to like be more, like just move more, I guess. Because today, this will get into like our book stuff too, but like I got off work super early and I want to continue listening to my audiobooks. So I was like, I'll just, go for a walk. What else am I doing? Anyway, so that's the workout set.
What are you? You're listening to Airfire on audiobook.
Well, let's get into our book updates now, right?
Yes.
Unless you had any other life things to talk about.
Just a small
Solo
aside.
travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
Don't say where you're going.
I have nothing planned. But I just have been. I have an inkling to like want to go on a little solo trip with me, myself, and I. And so I posted just like on my Instagram, getting some input from some of my followers on like where would be a good place to go. Many places.
Everyone had high hopes for you of like you need to go to Singapore.
No, yeah.
Like,
and I'm like, you're like, I've
never
never
traveled
said
by
never,
myself ever.
but I've never gone anywhere by myself. So like, let me start small. So I'll probably just pick like somewhere in the U.S. for like a long weekend trip. And just for like safety reasons and stuff, I'll kind of like delay. Like you guys, I'm sure will hear and see about it if and when I go on one, but it'll be like after the fact. And then I can share my little tidbits and what I learned and things of that nature. But I'm in the process of trying to maybe plan something out, and I hopefully like I kind of want to do it like sooner rather than later. So I'm hoping I can like find a time sometime this year, maybe in the fall, to do it. So yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah,
funky, fresh.
Would love to hear about it. And then like I would also love to do maybe like some solo travel as well, but I don't have any. I have no thoughts on when that would happen.
This
but
is
you
a
can let me know
good.
how it goes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't really know of any specific places that you've mentioned that you want to go to that I've been like, no, I have no interest. But there have been a couple places that I've mentioned that Ciera's like had really no desire to go to. So this would be a good opportunity for
say, okay, I'll do it myself.
Out. Yeah.
So I look forward to, hopefully I like, not that I would help you plan, but like, you'll run some things by me. I can, give you some input on your Airbnb, all that fun stuff. Book updates. I am actually currently reading 2 books. I'm kind of killing it right now. I'm listening to the audiobook of Air of Fire. I'm 75% of the way through that now. I think that I'll finish it tomorrow or Wednesday. And then I'm reading, I think it's All Sinners Bleed or All the Sinners Bleed. And I'm 25% of the way through that on my Kindle. I'm also hoping to finish that by the end of this week. So then 2 books under my belt.
Nice.
In 1 week would possibly put me 1 book ahead on my reading challenge. And then hopefully I can just like keep that momentum going and stay afloat.
I just finished reading Hopeless, which is the last book in the Chestnut Springs series. And I went through and I was trying to look at like how often, because like I typically, when I'm reading a series, I like to space things out for the most part. I like to kind of savor things. Every once in a while, I will go like straight back to back, but I just kind of like to pace things out a little bit. So I was going back through and I was like, when did I start this series? Like, how often have I been reading and progressing to the next book? And it was funny because I started reading the first book was probably like about 2 years ago. And then obviously I just finished the 5th and final book now 2 years later. But it was like, I went through and was looking at my reading dates, and it was like, there's probably like anywhere from like 3 to 4 months between each of the first 4 books. And then it's been a year since I've read that last 4th book. Mostly because in this book, the reviews I'm sure are all like within the same range of like generally 4 stars. But the main character in the last book, Beau, is like ex-military. And I would say like it's probably like the least talked about book. You just don't hear about it that much. So I like never was super drawn to like come back and just like finish the series. But I was like, I really should. And it's part of it has been that I felt like I've still been in this world because Elsie Silver has like her Wild Hill or Wild Rose series that's like in the same universe, just like different town. So in many ways it feels kind of like your
same vibe,
same vibe, same, not same characters, but like some of the characters do, make a small appearance. But anyways, I finished the book. I gave it 4 stars. I read it very quickly, as I tend to do with all Elsie Silver books. You haven't read a single one of hers, have you?
No.
And to be honest, I liked this one more than I was expecting. So that was a pleasant surprise. I thought this was going to be my least favorite one. But it's my 4th favorite one. So
that's a good way to word it.
So
your second to last favorite, it's my 4th favorite.
For any of you people who have also read Chestnut Springs, I rank my books primarily based off of how much I liked the male main character. So in that regard, plus I can never remember the names of the books with who they match up with.
Yeah, it's hard.
Easier for me to remember the main characters. So in that order, from favorite to least favorite, it goes Theo, Cade, Rhett, Bo, Jasper. And then now, I just started a new book this morning, and I decided to start Binding 13.
I saw.
I'm kind of scared, but I hear so many good things about it, and so I'm ready
to dive in. I
to
feel like at least
in.
you'll know. Like by the end of the first book,
I'm only like 20 pages in, but I'm liking just the writing style and like the flow of the book so far.
That's good.
Which I got really nervous at first, and I think I tried doing this at first when I was gonna think about reading it some other time. But it takes place in Ireland, and like before you read any of the books, it has like a 4-page glossary of just like terms and pronunciations and whatnot. So I was like, oh my God, it's going to feel like I'm reading a foreign language. It has not felt that way so far. And there hasn't been a whole lot that I've had to like
refer back to.
I haven't had to go back and refer to the glossary, but I was like, oh God, I'm nervous now. But so far has not been an issue. So,
okay, well, good. And I feel like, how many books are in that series?
Gosh, it seems like a lot. I don't even know. Because they all sound so much the same.
How long is this book?
It says it's going to take me 12 hours to read. I see a lot of different page variations in terms of like, I've seen it somewhere. Sometimes it says 400 pages, and sometimes some things I swear say like 600 to 800 pages. I have no idea. My physical copy, I feel like it's somehow 400 pages, and I've been like, what? How?
Because it looks so much thicker?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like at least you'll know, like, you know, when you finish the first book, you'll be like, oh my God, like I'm obsessed, must continue. Or you'll be like, no, you know, not continuing the series. Like, I feel like sometimes it's daunting to start the first book in a series, but then you're like, well, I'll either continue or I won't. I also need to double check, not that this really matters, but I could make a TikTok about it maybe. You know how Assassin's Blade can be read in like different orders? I think there's 3 different orders, and I can't remember if the last one is before Queen of Shadows or like what the deal is, but I'm almost, once I finish this book, I think to the point where like I can fully form an opinion on like when I think you should read Assassin's Blade. So I'll maybe make a TikTok about that. Just a little FYI, it's going to be different than the order that I read it, I think. So that's our book updates for now.
Okay.
I'm going to try, I think, to start the book club book, the podcast book club book, like when I'm done with these 2 books, because I need to
get ahead a little bit.
Get ahead. I finished The Conditions of Will literally the last day of July.
So, and you know what? We got it done.
We did. Okay. We will get started then with our Am I the A-hole postings. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for? Hi guys, I'm a 21 female, a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups in Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was traveling alone in her mid-30s was consistently oversleeping. The first day after we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, sorry if I'm mispronouncing these, for which we depart at 8 a.m. as we do for all the other day tours. I make sure that all the tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my phone number to call in case they forget so I can remind them. They also all have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time for departure on it. All of the group was on time except for one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus and the mic that I do not tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes at most in case of emergency, like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, the same tourist was late again by 25 minutes, almost an entire half hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her. When she came out running and got on the bus, she got lucky. As the receptionist of the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the rooming list and earned her some time, I reminded everyone again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could, quote, make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I'm not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything that the day before. She kept saying, no, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15, and I kept repeating, I really can't do that for everyone. Please set an alarm. Well, on the day we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after the supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, then left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour late, asking where we were. I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that day trip. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later, she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her, and she also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the a-hole for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times that I wouldn't?
Girl. Who are you responsible for?
You're not her mother.
I don't... I know people personally who do this, so, like, I say this with love, but this is my opinion. Annoyance. You're responsible for waking yourself up. If any grown person can do this, if you have a job, if you have somewhere to be...
If she planned an international trip for herself to go alone, she can wake up at a designated time.
You can...
If she had a job...
You can set an alarm. And some people, if they're hard sleepers, like, they find ways, okay? People find ways, and they live their life, and they can manage. My little aside was because I know people who, like, will call and, like, make sure their, like, you know, significant other or partner is, like, up when they need to be. And I've always personally been kind of like, can they not set an alarm? But that's just my take. So
what's, like, for that instance, like, how is a phone call different than an alarm?
Yeah.
But I guess they, like, snooze it or something, and you answering the phone is like, hello, are you up? Get up out of bed? I don't know. I would say you
gotta, instead of, like, condoning the habit, like, you gotta find a way to fix it.
You did your due diligence as the guide saying, here is how long I will wait. You gave her leeway the first 2 days. Then you said, like, you told her everything that you would do, and then you did it. Mm-hmm. You know, she can't get mad at you. She's probably just, like, internally mad at herself because she knows an issue and was just, like, hoping you or others would pick up the slack, like, where she was unable to. So
it's crazy though.
Yes. There's an edit afterward that said, I talked to my manager today.
How bad you're jet lagged.
I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigan and didn't want to spend ages defending myself. So I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me word for word, hun, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it. So your company's on your side. I mean, if she knows it's an issue, which she does, then, like, I don't know. Could you get, like, a bellhop or someone at the hotel to be like, can the bellhop come and wake me up at 8:15? Like,
it's
or, like,
crazy.
Make friends with your tour group and say, hey, would you, like, you know, if you have to find a way and you've already been told one way that's not going to work.
She can find a way, just she herself and I. Herself. I was going to say
she herself and I, but that's not how it works. Yeah, I mean, you did what you were obligated to do.
Okay, here's my first one. Am I the a-hole? My fiance, male 24, wants his mom to spend the night when we have a 1-month-old, and I, female 19, don't agree.
Sorry, I just started reading the comments. Someone said the woman could have also requested a wake-up call from hotel. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't care what you think about the age gap that's between me and my man and our families, and I'm not asking for your opinions on it. She's a 19-year-old and he's 24.
Did you know, this is an aside kind of, but, like, for age gap relationships, I was recently with someone who was like, an appropriate age gap is if you take
plus 8,
7 is what they said. I'd never heard of that before.
Who were you? Where did you hear this from? I heard this from TikTok.
Oh, my, like, Andrew's, like, our classmate's wife. You know what I'm talking about? That recent outing. When I was at her pool.
What did that come up for? Can you not say?
I think it was someone I don't know. They were talking about someone that they know. I don't know them. Okay. But she was, like, double checking. She was like, I guess that's an appropriate age gap. And I was like, okay, I've never heard
24,
that before.
So half plus 7 or 8. Yours would fall in line for the plus 7 and wouldn't clear the plus 8 rule. Anyways, she doesn't care about that. So for backstory, we had our baby a little over a month ago. She barely sleeps at night or during the day, and I'm exhausted. He went back to work about a week after we had her, so I've been taking care of her.
She's 19?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an aside, when did y'all get together? If you have a baby now and you're now 19?
Yeah. No, she doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. So he went back to work a week after she was born, and then she's been taking care of her for the most part until he's home, and then I only get a few hours before he's asleep for work. She is exclusively breastfed, so no matter what I have to be up with her when she's hungry. Okay, so now to where I'm not sure if I'm the a-hole. His mom lives about an hour away, and we just made a visit a weekend or two ago for 9 hours, two spent with his grandma, 6 with his mom and a few other family members, then 1 with some friends of ours. Now he wants his mom to come spend the night. Not this weekend, but next weekend. His brother's coming for a day or two already, which I understand as he lives far away and they never see each other. There have been some things that he has told me and I have witnessed in the past that make me a little uncomfortable with his mom, especially around our baby, but I feel I have been understanding about going to visit her since she has no car over an hour away and I haven't even been cleared yet and still experience pain as well. Now when he asked me last night, we decided we'd talk about it some other time. Then today he brings it up again and I tell him I'm not the most comfortable with that right now and I don't see why it's even necessary as we can go visit her anytime and make a day trip. This turns into a fight where he even admits he wasn't fond of the idea until I had an issue with it, and then he didn't have a problem with it. So it seems like he's just trying to pick a fight with me. So am I the a-hole for not wanting his mom to come spend the night when we can make a day trip any weekend?
I mean, I definitely feel like we're lacking some context. Like, your reservations, you're not telling us why you have reservations. So we can't, like, side with you or not side with you.
We do know that your partner, like, he also said he's kind of had some reservations. So, like, you know,
like, why is it important that she comes to your guys' place and you can't go to her?
Granted, someone's got to go, like, I don't know if someone would have to, like, go pick her up because she's not driving.
Yeah.
And then,
how far is the drive?
An hour.
Like, an hour is no big deal. He could go pick her up and bring her over, or you guys could go there.
Because someone then has to drive her back anyways. Yeah. No matter what.
Like, I understand it's annoying from, like, then it turns... like, his trip will be 2 hours instead of, like, the 1 hour there and 1 hour back. But I feel like that would then, bode more for, let's just go there then.
Yeah. I think the issue is, would the brother be willing to hang out at your mom's house? Because the brother's coming. So that was kind of, like, the secondary thing of, like, oh, brother's coming in to visit. So then, like,
Is it his
also
brother?
going to come? I think so.
So it's his mom, too.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't y'all just go
to her house?
I'll go to her house.
Could be an option.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like we can't give a full, well-rounded...
I don't feel like you're being the a-hole, like, per se. Because I think, you got to pick what your boundaries are and what you do or don't want to do in terms of...
And, like, also, just, like, because you were there a couple weeks ago, I would just kind of reiterate, like, why do we need to... Like, I'm not saying you need to hang out with someone.
Maybe say it's too overwhelming to host that many people right now. Like, we have a 1-month-old. I think that would be a good cop-out. And say, like, we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah. So, that's my best piece of advice. I don't know if anyone else in the comments had secondary opinions.
Wouldn't you rather have his mom help you look after the baby for one night?
But that was the thing, she made it sound like they don't want her mom really around the baby that much.
I know. Yeah.
Am I the a-hole for not allowing my mom to refer to her partner as grandpa to my newborn son? My dad passed 4 years ago. For some background, my parents divorced back in the early 2000s. My relationship with my dad wasn't initially great, but as time went on, we became closer and on great terms. He unexpectedly passed 4 years ago. I don't have a good relationship with my mom's current partner, but we remain respectful towards each other. Fast forward to now, my wife and I just had our first child, and my mom visited for the first time on the weekend with her partner. She kept referring to her partner as grandpa to my son, which I felt was disrespectful to my dad, who is and would have that title. I kicked up a fuss, to which she got mad, and both left abruptly. Am I the a-hole?
I think this is a challenging... I just feel like, you can't help how you feel about, like, oh, like, maybe I don't feel like this person deserves this title, but I also feel like you have to, like, pick and choose, like, what hill you want to die on. I feel like if it would make you feel more comfortable that, like, maybe they call him, like, grandpa, in their name or something. If you feel like that's, I don't know, that would maybe, like, make it less like, oh, this is, like, the one and only grandpa. Because obviously we have, extended family dynamics as well. And, like, I just don't know that that's a hill that I would want to, like, die on.
Yeah.
Of, like, oh, this isn't allowed.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, you have, like, your thoughts, and it's harder probably because you're dad is not there to like fulfill that grandpa role, and so it's like that's a sore spot for you as well, and you don't want to like bestow that title onto someone who you feel like doesn't deserve it. Probably because like you don't call them dad, you just call them by their name. I do think like grandpa so and so would be like a happy medium,
especially because like when obviously it's a baby now, but eventually like the kid is going to like want some sort of context to the situation. I feel like that is the relationship that makes the most sense in their mind.
Like you can't like kids obviously kids will like, you know, call them whatever you call them, so like you could just call them the first name and like whatever it is will be normal for them. So like do what you need to do, but then realize how it will affect your relationship probably with your mom, because she's got you and she's got her husband. So if you go like the route of calling like he or she will call your partner just by their name, that you could do that, it's fine, the kid will grow up, it's normal. But the mom might kind of like have like resentment towards you for that, and she'd probably get over it. But I do think just a happy
like
medium.
you can make your decision, but it's not going to change like how she feels about it either.
Yes.
So,
and your reasoning is not going to make her feel any better if you say, well, it's because I don't like him. You know, that doesn't help the situation.
Yeah.
Looking at some comments, I feel like most people will side with the poster. Not the a-hole. You could and probably should have addressed the name thing beforehand. Blowing up at her, while understandable, wasn't the solution. Her getting upset that you started shouting at her is also understandable. Not the a-hole. This guy presumably has a first name. That's what should be used when you are not comfortable with him being grandpa to your son. So, yeah. I agree. Next one is your pick.
Okay. My second one got deleted, but I think I remember it pretty much. So as I recall, this person was asking about kind of wedding invite etiquette and the fact that their friend got invited to a wedding. They had a +1 and they weren't seeing anyone, so they got the okay to invite and bring a friend, aka the person who's posting this. And there was both like going to be an English wedding and then an Indian wedding. So they're going to have 2 weddings on like days, you know, back to back. And then in the midst of leading up to the wedding, this person is now seeing someone and would like to bring their date to at least one of the weddings, and then is offering to bring this friend to the other wedding. And she just kind of felt like that wasn't very good etiquette. She felt like she was being used a little bit, and was that like rude of her friend to do that. And she said she knows she's acquaintances and also knows like the person who's getting married a little bit. Obviously not enough to like warrant her own invite,
okay.
But she made that distinction as well.
If you know context, let me know. Is there travel involved for this wedding? Did you buy new clothing for this wedding? Idea. I feel like that would shape my opinion. You clearly were not important enough to the bride and groom to be invited on your own to the wedding. And typically a +1 is for the guest to bring, if they have a significant other, or a friend, you know. I think it was a good compromise to like say, if you want to go, I'll bring you to one of the weddings. But I would also like to bring my significant other. So who's she asking? Is she the a-hole for what?
I think she was just kind of like wanting input on like the etiquette surrounding the invites and having already been asked to go as a +1. Was it rude of her friend to rescind the invite?
I also would like to know like how far before the wedding are we talking?
I don't know.
You know, like if it's like the wedding is 6 months down the line, I feel like that's plenty of notice, you know, to be like, hey, I'm dating someone now. I would like to bring them. If it's like the wedding is 2 weeks away, you know, then I'd be like, oh,
yeah, I think
like
that
I took
timing
PTO already.
I think the timing would play a bigger role into this in terms of the situation. Like whether or not, like you said, if you're taking PTO, if you're traveling and stuff like that.
The bride and groom, they don't care. I will tell you that much. They don't care who their guests bring as a +1. So like, I wouldn't be concerned.
I will say, like, assuming this is a local wedding with enough advance notice given, I do feel like you get to go to one wedding is a pretty good compromise.
Like, I think that's honestly like she's doing more than she needs to. I don't think she needs, like, assuming you did not invest anything into this wedding, Like, you didn't put in PTO, you didn't buy anything.
Then it's not really your invite to like do anything with.
You were like, yeah, I'll go with you.
And I can't share.
But like, it's no skin off your back if you can't go. You know what I mean? If we're, we don't have any more context than what Megan remembers. But I can understand, like, if you're like, oh, like, maybe you're looking forward to it. Like, I get that. But like,
and as someone who like hates when people cancel on me, like, this would probably hurt my soul. Okay. But you have to kind of be like, I don't really have, like, I have no skin in the game. You can be upset about it. That's fine. You can feel what you feel. But like, you also kind of have to understand that like the person didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
Like, I think they're offering a nice gesture by, what are the odds there's 2 weddings? You can come to one of them, like. So I would take that, or if you don't want to go at all now, then don't go at all. But I think it was a nice gesture. Okay. Am I the a-hole for planning to move out with my younger sister without telling our older sister, even though she's helped us a lot? I, 24 female, live with my sisters, Gabriella, 35 female, and Samantha, 18 female. For over a year, I've wanted to move out because of our living situation, and it's become very uncomfortable. In 2022, we were renting separate rooms in a 3-bedroom apartment. After a flood, Gabriella took out a $10,000 loan so we could move. We helped pay it off, and it was cleared last year. I'm grateful for her support. But since then, things have gotten worse. In our current apartment, Gabriella has the only bedroom. Samantha and I sleep in a small living room divided only by a cheap wall partition. We have no privacy, very little storage, and share the same space as the kitchen. There's also a cockroach problem that the building won't fix. Last year, Gabriella brought in a boyfriend who made things worse. They fight constantly, and she ended up in another $10,000 of debt. Now she's stressed, often yells at us, and complains we're messy, but we don't have any proper space for our things. She also stopped helping with the bills. I've been covering internet, gas, electricity, and 45% of the rent. The electric bill alone is behind by $2,500 since February. Samantha recently started working. We've saved enough to rent a room together with roommates. Nothing fancy, just something with privacy and peace. The issue is that Gabriella told us last year she didn't want to stay here past this lease and encouraged us to save, but now she changed her mind and signed a new lease with my name on it without asking me. When I told her I didn't want to stay, she got angry. What? Is that legal? I don't know. And then said I was selfish for thinking only about myself and not her struggles. She's working 2 jobs and wants to buy property in our home country. She asked me to wait until December, but I can't. Winter here is rough, no heating included, and I can't keep living like this. So my sister and I are planning to move while Gabriella is away traveling to avoid more conflict. Am I the a-hole for moving out without giving her a clear heads up, even though she helped us before and is overwhelmed?
Here's what I would do. I would just tell her, and then I would still move out.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do? Hold you hostage? I understand that like it probably is going to bring up more conflict, but I don't think it's worth like lying and just
moving out is not going to avoid conflict.
You're an adult. You're all adults. You can make your own decisions. Just tell her, I understand that like we're kind of putting you in a tough situation, but like this living situation is not working for us, and I've told you that, and that's like we're going to find our own solution to this problem.
Yeah. So you and your boyfriend, if you're still together, you guys can figure something out. I'm guessing, like, if she signed based off the comments I'm looking at, I'm no lawyer, but commenters are saying that if she signed the lease for you without your consent, that's fraud. You should be able to get out of it. Could she then possibly, if she can no longer afford this space, take it all back? I don't know what the, downside or penalty for that is. But she clearly is living above her means right now and needs to downsize. And you guys clearly don't live well together. So the solution is not just for you guys to stay together and find a cheaper place so you guys can all contribute equally. I would maybe, perhaps you could spin this into a positive and say our relationship has felt really strained from all of us living together. I think that us separating would help our relationship.
That would be good.
Like
a thing to touch on.
Yeah. Like I feel like that's, the downside of like we're, starting to resent each other for what we feel like the other is not contributing. It's not helpful to our relationship. So I feel like by us two moving and finding our own space and you having your space with your boyfriend, like, we'll all be not relying on one another for like living expenses and things like that. And we can like just be sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the one sister that you're roommates with. But it sounds like you two live together well.
Okay. Am I the a-hole? Have I overreacted? After working a 37.5-hour, 5-day week as a nurse in an outpatient clinic, I then worked 2 night shifts as extra. On my way home after my second night shift, I was almost falling asleep while driving, so I called my boyfriend for him to keep me awake with a bit of light conversation. He was working from home, so I knew he was busy, but just asked if he could make conversation until I got home about 20 minutes. He then replied with, "How are you making this my problem? What if I hadn't answered the phone?" I may have raised my voice at that point, but looking back, am I the a-hole? Did I overreact?
Did she overreact?
For raising her voice. Yeah, that's what she's asking.
I think you guys just like got into a little argument. You know, that's all. Like, he probably overreacted. You overreacted. You get home. You make up. You move on.
I think that's fair. I think, here's what I'm confused with. I don't know if she just like called him or if she was like texting, being like, "Can I call you on my way home?" You know,
I think she
just
probably
to keep
just
me
cold called
conversation.
him. It's her boyfriend. Why can't she cold call him?
I know. I just didn't know if I had closed
Like,
out
unless,
that already.
you know, to give context, like, was he annoyed because he was in the middle of something? Like, was
Right.
he busy? Like, we don't know. And maybe that's why he was annoyed. Because just generally, if he wasn't very busy with work, I would imagine like a 20-minute phone conversation would not be the end of the world, you know?
Right.
I also understand your annoyance with him like saying, well, what would you have done? Like, yeah, you would have probably called someone else, like figured something out. But you were just like, hey, you know what I'll do? Let me call my loving partner who I love so much and would love to chat with. Like, that was your thought process. Yeah. Just to be met with like annoyance. That's probably why you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was just like,
it's just a fight.
just a bad,
like a little
you know, alignment of, you know,
the stars were not aligned.
The wrong moods. People just like not ready and willing to, you know, engage in conversation like you were so ready to do.
Yeah. You notice how she adds the context beforehand, thus we feel like really bad for her because she's like, she must be so tired. Like, we get it, girl. No, I mean, hopefully you got home, assuming you live together, I don't know, and said, hey, like, I'm gonna, like, you know, it's just, you got off on the wrong foot. You go to bed. You wake up.
New day.
New day. I would say no one's the a-hole. Like, you're just living life.
I already closed out of it.
We're all just,
I've got no.
We're all just
additional
human here.
Comments.
Am I the a-hole for, quote unquote, letting my girlfriend stop coming over in the mornings after my mom's friend complained about her showering? My girlfriend works 12-hour overnight shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. After work, she sometimes comes to my place to shower and sleep. She usually arrives around 8:15, takes a quick shower by 8:30, then crashes for the day. Here's where the issue comes in. My mom's long-term friend, who rents the basement, complained that the sound of the shower at 8:30 woke him up. My mom passed that complaint along to me and asked if my girlfriend could avoid showering until, quote, everyone is awake. I told my girlfriend, and she felt uncomfortable continuing to come over, understandably, in my opinion. After working all night, the last thing she wants is to feel like she's disturbing people just by taking a basic shower before bed, so she decided not to come over in the mornings anymore. She didn't cause drama or make a scene, just quietly adjusted. I later told my mom what my girlfriend decided, and she got upset, not because of the shower, but because my girlfriend chose to stop coming over in the mornings. My mom insists that wasn't her intention, but from our perspective, asking someone to not shower after a night shift pretty clearly sends a message that her presence is disruptive. For context, I also pay rent in this house. My mom's friend has lived here for years and pays rent too. We all share the space. It's not like my girlfriend was being loud or unreasonable, just taking a 5 to 10 minute shower in the morning, which seems pretty standard. Now my mom's upset with me, but I feel like I handled it fairly. I passed the message along. My girlfriend made a calm and mature decision, and now somehow I'm caught in the middle. Am I the a-hole for not pushing back harder on the complaint, or for quote-unquote letting my girlfriend decide to stop coming over in the mornings?
I feel like your mom is being too wishy-washy. Perhaps a separate solution could be proposed of, would earplugs be a reasonable thing for you to wear if it's, like, if all of a sudden now everyone wants her back over? Like,
No, literally.
I don't know.
Like, we want her.
What do you want? Because I feel like
it's the best case scenario for you because your mom is like, we love her, like, bring her back. And you're like, I thought it was disruptive. I would say the roommate should be included in this conversation. Like, was it a passing comment of like oh, like she really woke me up, you know, like
right? And
so,
she's kind of like, oh, I had no idea this was like a big deal. I just like made one comment one time of like I was sleeping in and then I got up because I heard the shower.
Yeah. So figure that part out first, and then like, I mean, it's great that everyone wants your girlfriend there. Like that bodes well for you. I would just then like reiterate to your mom, like, okay, well, she wants to shower after she has worked. So if she can't do that here, she must go home.
Yeah. And I don't know how close or far you live would it be feasible for you to go shower and then, but like, I know you're going
But she's
to
just
bed.
sleeping.
Exactly. It's like,
So, I mean, I just say, like, Mom, the non-negotiable is that she will be showering.
like, if they really miss your presence that much, like, maybe you stop over after your shift, do the morning greeting, have breakfast with them. I don't know. And then you're like, okay, I'm heading out and I'm going to go to my place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, that's our take. Bring everyone on board. Say, she will be showering. Is it here or is it somewhere else? And then you all need to say, yeah, like, she probably should shower home. And it's like, okay, well, she's staying home then.
Yeah. Am I the a-hole for taking walks on my lunch break? A few years ago, I started a job that was more office-based than previous jobs. Because of that, I was moving less and gaining some weight. This doesn't really matter. I get a 1-hour paid lunch per day. A lot of my coworkers eat at their desk and do a little work, like maybe answering an email, but mostly eating. I personally go to my car to eat and then do laps around the parking garage before I go back in. I am never gone for more than an hour. I am back on time. Recently, I did my normal routine. I grabbed my lunch, went to my car and ate it, and then I started on my walk. I happened to run into a coworker during my walk. He was out there because he forgot he needed something from his car. He stopped me and asked what I was doing. I told him I ate my lunch and now I am taking a walk before my lunch break is over. He didn't like that answer and said our lunch break is for eating, not walking, and that when I'm done eating, I should go back to work. I told him we are given an hour for lunch. I want to use all of it in the best way I can. I think he told other people because then I've been receiving comments before I go on break that I didn't receive before. I don't think I was wrong. I'm entitled to my break. All my work gets done on time. I take it at about the same time every day, so it's expected. I won't be available and maybe come back to a few non-urgent emails. I have my phone on me in case someone calls for an emergency, which has never happened. So am I the a-hole for taking a walk during my lunch break?
I would first and foremost say, like, did your company have any, like, rules or policies regarding these lunch breaks?
Here's the thing. If they designate a lunch break, whether it's paid or not, I'm like, okay, it's my break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's totally just like company dependent because some people have paid lunches and some people don't. This person says
I don't get paid for lunch. I have to clock out.
I don't either, but technically the state of Iowa, you don't have to take a lunch break. So, if you're doing your work, you can stay clocked in. That's what I do. Okay. So I personally think like, okay, be mad.
Yeah.
I'm taking my hour lunch break.
It's my assumption that this guy is not in any way higher up than you. He just like has like, he's one of those like hustle grind people who's like, she's not working when she could be working. Girl, who cares? If your job gets done.
Especially like you're salaried. So like,
yeah. If your job gets done, like unless a higher up were to come to you and say something about like your work not being whatever, you could even like nip this in the bud and like go talk to your higher up and be like, I can do like whatever I want on my lunch break, right? Just to like, if someone were to have another comment for you, be like, I am totally within my right to do this.
This person says my manager doesn't have an issue, but some people I work with do.
Oh, well then who cares?
Okay.
Who cares?
I don't care.
My higher up that I respond to doesn't care, then neither do I. You like,
in fact, I'm making sure I'm not working during my 1 hour
now
lunch
I will
break.
make sure I'm only coming back the minute before I'm supposed to be. So
it's only fair.
Yeah. I mean, like, especially like it probably helps you like reset in the day, like get like a full clear head, and you come back better than ever.
Take your hour lunch.
You know, I would love to have a paid lunch break. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not caring anymore about my sister's issues with me showing PDA with my partner? So my girlfriend, 21 female, and I, 22 female, have been together for 4 years, and when it comes to PDA, we're actually pretty chill and we're pretty mindful. We know it's too much, like grabbing each other's butts, making out, weird baby talk in public, and we don't do that stuff. We just hold hands, hug or kiss occasionally. We're also super aware that PDA makes some people uncomfortable, so we try to be respectful and dial it down around others when it seems like it might be too much or just in an environment that doesn't call for that. The issue is my older sister, 34. She constantly picks at any little bit of affection we show. It honestly feels like she's made it her personal mission to criticize how we act around each other. She'll get annoyed or judgmental even if we're just holding hands. She also complains when I bring my partner along to things and says she feels like a third wheel, which I totally understand, but I don't bring my partner to everything. It's not like I'm dragging her everywhere I go. So I'm going to give some examples. There are a few, but I'll leave it to the two recent events that I can think of. On my birthday, I went on a trip to Florida with some friends and my sister. I was sick the whole time, and my girlfriend was just holding my hand and being supportive. My sister texted me during the trip to say the PDA was too much for her, so we stopped. There was no more hand holding or anything the rest of the time. Nobody else seemed bothered, and we weren't doing anything over the top. My sister invited me and my girlfriend to go to an amusement park with her and a friend. We held hands occasionally and kissed a few times, but mostly not even in their view. Nothing wild in my opinion, but literally just normal couple stuff. I also confronted my sister when she felt, or comforted my girlfriend, when she felt sick from the rides. Today we went out for breakfast and did some thrifting before heading back home. We live a few states away. Again, the same deal. Held hands sometimes, maybe kissed like 3 times the whole day. At one point we playfully shared a stick of gum, which I'll admit could look weird from the outside, but it was just us being silly. No kissing or anything. I feel like that's the most over the top we might have done the whole trip. Out of nowhere, my sister snaps and starts yelling at us, saying we are being, quote, inappropriate the whole trip, and she acted like that with her ex, or if she acted like that with her ex, we'd hate it. We apologized and left early. The thing is, it's starting to feel like there's, like, nothing is acceptable for her. She doesn't want us to show any affection at all, and honestly, it feels really judgmental and projecting, and made me feel kind of ashamed just for holding my partner's hand, which is something I think is completely harmless and sweet. When straight couples do it, it's seen as normal or even cute. Why should I feel weird for doing the same? So am I the a-hole for not caring anymore about how she feels about her PDA?
I feel like this sister has a lot of things that she needs to work through. I just feel like
I already know some cause. I was like, I feel like your sister may be homophobic. Possibly. Or like maybe not
like maybe she doesn't
consciously
want to be, but she like is.
Yeah. Like that's quite literally the only thing I can think of, because you have just said very normal couple interactions that like I wouldn't like, technically yes it's PDA, but like if you see any couple walking around holding hands, like no one says anything, no one cares. If you see a couple like share a quick peck on the cheek, no one cares because it's normal accepted PDA. I feel like for whatever reason, have you had any other girlfriends? Like has your sister like been like this always? You're relatively young, so like it's entirely possible this is your first relationship. So it's, you know, hard to know if it's, I don't know. I would say you are good.
You're good. This isn't a you thing.
Is your sister dating anyone? You know, maybe
how does
she's single and she's a little bit older and she like feels like, you know, annoyed that her younger sister is in a relationship and she's not. I don't know. Those are my 2 takes. She's either insecure or she's homophobic.
Okay. I think maybe just time-wise we each pick one more, or I can do one more because you started.
Yeah, you can do one more.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for accusing my brother's girlfriend of being a gold digger? Hi, I am writing this today to ask if I am the a-hole for thinking and accusing my brother's girlfriend for being a gold digger. My mom thinks I am. My brother, 30 male, and his girlfriend, 26, a French international college student, have been dating for around 6 months. I was suspicious of her slowly over time. My brother isn't exactly rich, but he can live an extremely comfortable lifestyle with his previous job, but he has recently found he wanted more in life and he joined the Navy, which is amazing. However, back when he was still working for his previous company, he met his now current girlfriend and they moved in with each other almost instantly because he wanted to help make life more affordable while she studied. Which, okay, but whatever. My brother has been abused in the past by an ex-wife, so perhaps I am just overly protective. But my suspicions started when every single time we all go out to eat as a family, myself, 39 female, my husband, 48 male, my brother, 30 male, and his girlfriend, 26 female, our mother, 65 female, and my daughter, 5 female. She would always order the most expensive meals, and when the bill came, she would sit there and watch everyone pulling out their cards and then look at my brother sipping her drink, and then he'd say he's covering her share, and she wouldn't even say thank you. Now, once or twice, that's fine. Lord knows I've covered my husband or vice versa, but it has been every single time. Like clockwork, bill comes, she sits back, doesn't even pretend to get her wallet, looks at my brother and sips her drink. Now, the same thing happens with any purchases. The odd occasions we all go out shopping, she'd get expensive brand name items and look at him to pay, doesn't even offer to say, no, it's okay, just like she expects it. I have just found out as well that she doesn't even pay rent or utilities. It's all on my brother, and he isn't even living there anymore during his Navy training. She approached me about asking if I could help her get her name on his bank accounts as her visa is running out shortly and that it'll help her stay in the country on a new visa, and I said no. I also told my mother and father about it, and they are disgusted with me, and that I need to stay out of my brother's life and just support his choices because it isn't worth damaging our relationship with him over a girl. So,
I mean, I would say your concerns are valid. have you perhaps tried talking to him?
No, right? I'm like, what if your brother is just like totally okay with all that?
Right?
What if he says, yeah, I'll pay for everything?
Like,
then
everyone
okay.
has different standards in a relationship, different timelines. We don't know her motives, but like your brother is 30 years old and capable of like, you know, comprehending what he's doing. If he's totally willing to say like, this might bite me in the butt later, but like I'm going to do this now because, you know, I love her, whatever. Like I want this relationship to flourish and maybe I've always wanted to provide. We don't know like what their expectations are with each other. And it sounds like you haven't really talked to him that much about his concerns. So I would just say you can talk to him, say where you feel like you've been concerned.
This is a pretty common dynamic for many couples.
Yes.
Where like if men want to provide and like pay for everything, like there are men that do that.
Yeah.
So if he's one of them, what's she gonna do?
Turn him down? No. Obviously, do your due diligence. Make sure he's not being taken advantage of. Be like, I mean, he's the one getting the card out. Say like, is this like the relationship
thing's
you
a
have
little
set
like
up?
what? I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe
I don't
say
know
like,
much
do you
about
know
that.
she did that? And like that would maybe be like eye opening to him, possibly if he didn't know that was a thing. I would just say that's all you can do. Have a conversation. Be like, have a conversation. Say, you're good with that, bro? He says yes. Okay, that's it.
Move on.
That's where it ends, at least for now.
I agree.
Okay, that's going to do it for this episode. I feel like we had a lot of fun ones to talk about. If you have any opinions that you want to share, you can comment them down below if you're watching the YouTube video, or you can find our podcast Instagram, and we usually have an episode post for each episode that you can share your thoughts.
With that, we will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.